So hi again, we are following cultural dimensions by Greet Hofstede. And now we are looking into the second dimension of culture, which is individualism and collectivism. Now, before even I zoom in and start talk about this collectivism and individualism, just look amongst yourself. Imagine the last few semesters you have had at BRAC University where you were made to work in a group. And while you were working in a group, you have seen that some of your friends are more willingly taking notes or taking advices or taking changes from each other, or you have some group members or group member who has had this decision and that person would not move from his or her point. And you might see that some people would be very good when they are put in a group and they are talking, they're brainstorming and they are giving out ideas when they're all together. But some of your friend might say, no, I just give me a day, I'll go back home, I'll sit in my room and I'll think about it and the ideas will pop in. And that's very common. When even when I was a student, these things happened to me very flawlessly, that I would prefer at some point to not be in a group, and at some point I would prefer to be in a group. So individualism and collectivism, they talk about that. Why is it tilted? Okay, let me just do some neck exercise then. So yeah, the individualism is a degree to which people prefer to act as individuals. Like me, Mahreen, Mamoon will do this lecture. I'm not going to allow any other faculty to get involved. Why? Because I'm highly individualistic. Why are you highly individualistic? Well, because I think I'm only right, nobody else is right. So if I have had, of course I'm not right, because there's like so many other much better faculties around us, and it's vice versa. Now I would be preferred to work in a group. So you see that individualism is the degree to which people prefer to act as individuals rather than as a members of a group. Okay, it would be so nice if we all five of us faculties would be able to do this lecture, and each of us faculties would be maybe talk about each dimension. Then it would be highly collectivist lecture for my students, or all of your students. So collectivism emphasizes that it's a tight social framework and network where people expect to be in a group. They expect that it's me part of a group. And I often, when I'm taking an offline lecture, and ask students that if I right now give you 8 apples or a kg of apple, what would you do? So I would just randomly ask A, B, C, you tell me what would you do if I just literally give you a kg of an apple. So A would say, Miss, I'm going to distribute within my friends, like within this row, there's 8 people that are sitting in this row, I'm going to give it to them. B might say that, Miss, I'm going to take it home. Why would you take it home? Miss, there's no point distributing 8 apples amongst 40 people. I'd rather take home and enjoy it by myself. C might say that, Miss, I'm going to give it back to you and ask you to please give everybody, or unless you decide the 8 best students you have and you just give to them. And these 3 possibilities are very common when we are doing it. Okay, when we are distributing these benefits or promotions, we also follow within an organization whether should we go for individualistic, should we go for pick one best employee, or do you think we should go for everybody and everybody should be enjoying it. Say for example, in our university we have a group insurance where all of the staff, irrespective of academic or administrative, we enjoy a health insurance. And it would be really bad if I have a health insurance and my colleague at the admin panel do not have a health insurance, and if I feel very good about it, that would be very mean of me. Then again, when it comes to promotion in terms of performance, then we follow more of an individualistic approach where we have to reward one person that has excelled in his or her performance in terms of the stuff that he or she is supposed to do to be able to avail those promotion and increments. So this individualistic approach and collectivist approach, how do you think it reflects on you? Okay, the ones that you can see on my right and your right, of course, we both have the same right. So you can see that how these people would be reacting if you have more of an individualistic approach and you have collectivist approach. So there would be more I when we are talking about people who are individualistic. Okay, of course, within your siblings, you must have had siblings who would distribute food equally, and you must have, or maybe you are the one who would not distribute food equally, and you maybe you'll be hiding something for yourself when everybody's done. It's okay. It's absolutely fine if you decide to do that. So more of on this, what happens when you are in an organization and you are required to be either of the one? When you are individualistic, but your organization is collectivist, then we have a problem. Okay, when you are collectivist, but your organization is individualist, then we have bigger problem, because that's when things do not get as smooth as we want them to be. And that's when things get rough, because of course there's a mismatch of our opinion. Of course there's a mismatch of our patterns of work. Okay, we are moving on. Shall we move on? Yeah, we shall move on. So then we have the next dimension is uncertainty avoidance. Uncertainty means something that is vague. Uncertainty means something that is not clear. Uncertainty means something that we are not sure of, that this not predictable. So before we even go deeper into this, what this might mean, why do I have to think about uncertainty when I'm in an office? Why do I have to think about uncertainty for anything? So before we go, you can see that I think from my screen, I cannot see those writings properly. I have to zoom in. Why do I have to zoom in? So that I can read them properly. Why do I need to read them properly? So that I can teach you properly. Why do I need to teach you properly? So that you can understand these things properly. Why do you need to understand these things properly? So that you can excel in your life and be a better person in an organization. Well, so uncertainty avoidance would mean how a person processes uncertainty. Okay, it's the degree to which people in a country prefer structured over unstructured situation defines their uncertainty avoidance. How much do you want dane jan bame jan soja taka? How much do you want this information when you are driving? Okay, how much you're reliant on that lady who talks when you open a map, and how much you actually blindly follow the map and not follow your instincts. How much do you think you are absolutely dependent on some guidance? Okay, I've had an internship student many years ago, and I have recorded that within a month she has sent me, she has sent me 67 text messages on everything. Okay, anything, Miss, are you sure? Do you think I should do this? If I say yes, then her next text would be, are you sure? So she would be doing it every time. She was never sure of her own self, and she would always depend on, if I say something, if I give that instruction, she can only follow that. She never does that anything unsupervised. So these people have increased anxiety over uncertainty. Exactly, that's what I said about my student there. People in culture which are in low on uncertainty avoidance are more accepting of ambiguity. Ambiguity is another word for vagueness or uncertainty. There are less rules, or they are less rule oriented, and these people would be taking more risk. They are open to anybody's opinion, and they would not want people to go about and do things, and they would not charge people, oh, show me the proof. No, where does it say so? Does it have in the rule? Why did you do something like that? So you can see how much you, as a person from a business background, even if you're not into business, if you're from any other subject that are major, you would see how much you need to process information. Okay, how much you need to process information that might not give you enough information, yet you are supposed to make a decision based on those information. Okay, so uncertainty avoidance, these people, if people with a low uncertainty avoidance, let's see what it says here. This they accept, okay, they accept, as days that come. Okay, would you not want to live with someone like that? They are not very rigid, they are not very stagnant about their opinions and matters. They are very low stress, they do not stress out on stuff. They are very comfortable within chaos and stuff. They do not startle so easily. And people with who are very high uncertainty avoidance, these people will be very high maintenance to live with. If your boss is high uncertainty avoidance, you would be coming back and forth with paperwork and bureaucracy, with this paper, add that paper, add this signature, go and bring that signature from there, do that again. It's not the format, follow the right format and whatnot. Okay. And of course, there is, I'm not in an opinion to say something is good over the other, but of course, if you ask me, I at least I do have a recording where I screamed at a student. So the exam was exactly at 8 p.m. and I have a meeting recording open, and the student came in at 7:57, and it's a recorded session. So when he came in and he asked me, Miss, I cannot see the question. And I screamed. I said, because it's not 8 p.m. yet. So that means the student was high uncertainty avoidance. When he saw that the exam is at 8, and although there's an instruction, the exam time is from 8 till 8:15, he panicked, or he did not realize that it would come exactly at 8. And me being low uncertainty avoidance, I got angry because why he's asking when it's not 8? I gave the instruction. Why can't he understand the instruction? So you can see that if you are two different people trying to work in a class, trying to work in a department, try to work in any setup, we will have a problem if the person who needs to give instruction and the person who needs to accept and work on instructions, if there's a high-low issue, we have a problem. So productivity will be jeopardized because, of course, some people would be needing more instructions to work. And if the manager sees that, why should I give instruction? They should understand on their own. Now, I've heard that person, he's from BUET, he's from IBA, he's from BRAC University. Why is asking that many questions? I'll give him an instruction, he cannot ask back. Then we have a problem, right? So I think we will stop here and we'll start the session again from the new one so that you do not break your attention. And that's also a part of low uncertainty avoidance, high uncertainty avoidance.